Hello, everybody, and welcome to the new official Bitchy Review series reviewing your hot takes with a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
You're right, guys.
Alright, so.
I'm
What'd you just say? I thought you were gonna be like.
I'm the tweet.
Thought you were gonna
I'm the
introduce
tweet guy.
yourself. It's the tweet man, the one who everyone hates for no reason.
Oh man, I've been cancelled in 2 years, so let's hope I don't say any bad takes, and then I should be fine.
You should be fine this time. Hopefully, I don't have to start making a bunch of memes about you getting cancelled again.
No, actually, they were quite funny, to be fair.
I seen one of them the other day. It popped up on my memory. It was the one of the dog.
Kind of made it worth it.
It was I have no presence on Twitter because I just don't use it. I just use it to lurk around. So when I think I put out one tweet that was just something like, oh, if you're offended by someone screenshotting tweets so that people can talk about it, then please go outside or something. And I got blocked by so many people who I didn't even realize were following us. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think I just blocked everyone after everything, but it was years ago, so I don't really hold any grudges against anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't need to dig up the past. Past is past.
Exactly, man. It was literally 3 years ago, I think, almost. So it's one of them where it's. Hopefully, people have matured a bit. That's all I'll say.
I'd hope so.
There's more problems in the world, but enough about my cancellation, right? I'm not doing an apology video, but some of that was a few years ago.
I've made a severe, continuous lapse in my judgment.
I accidentally screenshotted tweets. Accidentally.
I accidentally did it.
And posted them. Oops.
Whoops, what a crime. But basically, the long and short of this is where we have both asked for hot takes of people who follow us on Instagram, follow us both, and we're just going to review them and put them in a tier list and talk about the takes. Do we agree with them? Do we disagree with them? What are our own perspectives on them? Just shit like that, you know? Just a bit of fun, you know?
A bit of fun. Shout out to DwTweets fun page.
I don't even like him.
Fair's neither.
He's
anyway.
Annoying. But
Let's get on with it.
I'll read this first one here. Oh, okay, so Kenny Wells 1 has said, the Doctor Who canon isn't important. The quality of the stories... I haven't even read that right, fucking hell. The quality of stories and the variety... Oh my god, I've read it wrong again. The quality of stories is... And the more variety, the better.
Yeah,
Same.
I agree to an extent.
Yeah, I'm a bit 50-50 on it.
I think canon's important, and I think you obviously always need the foundations to either build upon and even change if it works, and add to it and work with it. But at the same time, it depends what you class as canon. And canon's just complicated. It's what do you mean when you class as canon, if that makes sense, in reference to this? Do you mean we should have no reference to where the Time Lords came from or anything about Gallifrey's past? It's one of them. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tricky subject with Doctor Who because Doctor Who's so massive. And even
Exactly.
If you just watch the TV stuff, there's so many different variables you can take into account.
Exactly.
People
It's
wanted the Timeless Children to be decanonized, but it's sort of the only real way you could do that would just be to ignore it and then not bring it up. But then also do other showrunners want to sort of openly shit on other showrunners so directly?
Exactly. Canon's one of them where I think it probably is important to use, because I kind of feel like it's one of those where we say this, but I feel like most of the story arcs or key arcs in Doctor Who nowadays or in New Who have come from canon alterations or something canon related. So you can argue that Time War is that, harmless children. So I kind of do think it's canon should still be always a kind of some sort of priority
Yeah.
in stories. But then you don't need it. It's not like you can make Doctor Who without it. You know what I mean? Like we never have to touch the Time Lords again in Doctor Who. And like, you can still do Doctor Who. It's still Doctor Who. We don't have to talk about canon. It's still Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Like Blake doesn't talk about canon, and it's you know what
It's
I mean?
still a
Like
banger.
exactly. So I'd go. I'm 50-50 on it personally.
So with this one, I think I'll put it in like fair or agreeable.
Yeah, I'm fine with either of them. Maybe put it in.
I think fair's a good place to start off because there is so
Yeah.
many variables to it.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those, as I said, if it's 50-50, I wouldn't say I properly agree with it. So I think fair, where it's just kind of mid-tier, it's, yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a valid place to put it.
cool.
Your turn to read up next.
World Enough in Time / The Doctor Falls is good, but one of the most overrated stories of all time. Now, I know
Alright, so this is where the video becomes 7 hours long.
you. This is built for you. This is genuinely like, built upon you.
I don't
You
even know
can
if this
start
one's
with it.
from me or not. I don't remember which one who got this one.
I think this is. I feel like maybe I've screenshotted this one for you, knowing that it'll be a great one.
Probably.
Kind of something I'd do.
So, right off the bat, I would want to put this in based Omega unit, but also I wouldn't because I don't even think the story's good.
Oh no, that's why I knew.
Yeah,
Oh,
for those who don't know, this is like my least favourite episode of Doctor Who ever. Obviously, there's ones that are much, much worse. Like, admittedly much, much worse. Like, even in just like 12's era, there's ones that are worse. But this, for me, like, literally my least favourite story ever. Like, ugh.
Oh man, I mean, I do agree. As a statement, right? I agree with it because I used to love it loads, and then I kind of just fell off it a bit. I don't know why. I just lost interest in the story. I still love World Enough in Time because I just love the oh god, Fun Page is gonna laugh at me so much, but I love the horror elements in it, right?
Why is he gonna laugh at you?
Because he always jokes that it's like a joke where I can't even describe it. I always talk about horror, and whenever I mention it, he's like, "Oh, I never knew you were a fan of horror." So great, I've walked myself into.
What a dick.
But I love it for that. I like World Enough in Time. The Doctor Falls, on the other hand, pun intended, falls off. So I don't think it's one of the best stories of all time. I don't agree with you where I think it's bad. I just think it's kind of there. So I would agree with the statement. So it's kind of wherever we decide to put it together, really.
Yeah, because I don't really want to just sit here and like recount my whole video on like why I hate it so much. Because we would literally be here for ages. But for me, it's like World Enough in Time, I think really like fumbles a lot of itself. Like, because I did really used to like World Enough. I've never liked the Doctor Falls, but I used to really like World Enough in Time because of the stuff with the Cybermen. But then when you watch the story, or like when I was watching it back the last time, it was like 3 years ago or something now, it annoyed us how much the Cybermen really take a back seat to it. Like, the slow build stuff with the Cybermen is so fucking good. But then to even get to that point is built on the Doctor being a moron for dragging Missy and Nardole there, not Missy and Nardole, Bill and Nardole there for no reason. And then, like, Bill randomly throwing herself in the line of fire, despite the fact the Doctor clearly has the situation under control. And then also the Doctor, like, explaining the way the time works on the ship for no reason. Because it's like...
And he knew what he was doing as well.
Yeah,
so he knew he was wasting, which did annoy me, yeah.
One of the counters, or like counter arguments to my video that wound us up the most is that people were saying I was being like unreasonable to expect the Doctor to say sorry to Bill. But it's like, not only does he not say sorry, which is like, wow, okay, a dick. But also it's like, he did this seemingly like I wouldn't want to say he did it on purpose, but it's like, why is he explaining this? Like, Missy would already know this. Nardole is smart. He could already, like, he's the one who points out that she'd been down there for years. Like, why is he explaining it to the Smurf dude?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. There's
The Doctor Falls is a different story. I could rant about why I don't like that for hours.
We both admit the Doctor Falls is a bit shit.
Oh yeah.
I used to have I always have a love-hate relationship with that because there are some scenes in it where I'm like, this is really good, but it hasn't been earned. You know what I mean?
It's my issue with a lot of the stuff in, like, not even just Capaldi's era, but like Moffat's entire tenure. It's like these moments would be so good, but they're just not earned.
That speech where it's "Who I Am" was where I fall. That is so good, like on its own, like out of context. So good, especially how he's speaking, you know, with Missy and the Master there, like kind of a good version of it's so peak. But when I episode, it feels like I'm watching a part that shouldn't have been there because that part doesn't feel earned. Oh dear.
Oh dear, we got a first one.
Yeah, okay. Should we have like a tally as well?
Men in their 20s, by the way.
Yeah, I'm.
It's like I think I'm with you on the speech because I think in my video I have that segment timestamped as like the worst scene in the entire show, kinda.
I watched it
because it's like. Did you say you never watched it?
I said I watched it. Don't worry.
Oh, I thought you were like, you never watched it. I was gonna be like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, if you didn't watch it, fair enough. But you didn't have to tell us.
No, I did watch it.
It's like, but that scene for me, it's very sort of like that speech on its own is honestly probably one of my favorite speeches ever. But then the way we got here and the way that the Sim Master is used as like just the shell of bad.
No, don't talk to me about. No, I hate the way he. You know, I actually hate the fact he was in it, and it sounds really ungrateful.
I've been arguing with this for years, right? But if I wouldn't hate that story, Nelly, like I'd still think it would be bad because I just don't think it works, like plot-wise in any way, really. But it wouldn't be nearly as bad if it wasn't the Sim Master and it was like the Anthony, like a stand-in for the Anthony Ainley Master.
Oh my god, that is such a good idea.
Because it's like, the Anthony Ainley Master was literally just a cheesy, generic Saturday morning cartoon villain. So, like, if he was in that position, it would make sense. The Sim Master was not like that, though. He was, like, an actual character with depth. So, like, reducing him to just the shell of bad to make Missy look good, I was like, what was the point in even bringing him back?
Yeah,
I
agree.
Just fucking shit on like the series 3 finale and the end of time as much as you can, really.
I'm happy to put this in. Well, you think it's bad, so you put it.
I think honestly I'd go to more so agreeable.
I would agree.
Because
pun intended.
Because like I don't really like. I think it is hella overrated. Because yeah, but also like I don't even think it's good. So I think agreeable's a good place to put it.
Fairs. I agree.
We do a lot of agreeing.
Next one.
Right, so next one's up is me. This is from Longshanks 1690, and I've just noticed that I cut this one in half, not realizing that it was 2 because I chose these at random, but I think I remember the rest of what he said, so it's okay. But this says, as soon as people forget about Bridgerton in 5 years, Rogue will age like milk. It says far worse cut off. I'm guessing it says far worse than anything in Bad Wolf. I 100% agree with that, because Jesus Christ, I'm going through Rogue at the minute, and the amount they bring up Bridgerton, it's like, oh my god, this is like kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, you see, I'm 50-50 on it, where I kind of feel like, as an actual episode in terms of the setting, if it didn't mention Bridgerton so much, it would be fine, because you can watch it in 5 years and yeah, you can tell it's inspired by Bridgerton, but it doesn't mention it. It's not on your nose, so you'd be fine with it. Do you know what I mean? But it mentions it so much to the point where I feel like, yeah, when Bridgerton is not the trend, we don't care. it's gone.
It's gonna be so
Weird.
rough to watch Rogue back in a
It's
couple
gonna be a bit
years.
awkward. Yeah, I agree. But I don't think that's gonna make it a bad episode. I just think it's gonna make it a bit cheesy, like a bit. If anything, it might feel a bit nostalgic in a way. I don't know.
I might be in a somewhat like opposite boat because I think the episode's bad anyway. So with me, it's like I think it's shit, and then they keep like banging on about Bridgerton, and I'm just like, good God, like you're just making it worse. You're not helping.
I watched it twice. I thought it was good in the first one, but when I checked Twitter, I didn't understand why everybody was saying it was the best of the series. I then thought it was good on the second watch, but I kind of feel like it's kind of like a tip off. It's fine, man.
It's not like offensively bad or anything.
Well, the thing is, my girlfriend, when she watched it, obviously she's a big Doctor Who fan as well. She hated it as soon as it came out, and she was like, "This is." I think she made a review on Instagram, and I was shocked. I was like, "Why do you hate it so much?" I remember telling her, she was like, "Oh, you'll see. People will see soon." And she's put it this way: she's a big Bridgerton fan. She's watched all of it.
Oh, really?
She's rewatched it.
Really?
And she hates it. I think part of the reason is potentially because it's so on the nose, and because apparently it didn't actually feel like Bridgerton at all. It just felt like a cheesy version.
I had like a really like much worse thing with it because I literally do not know a single person in real life, or even I didn't know that she had seen it, but like including the people who I speak to on Instagram, who isn't as many as it used to be anymore, but literally I'd never heard of Bridgerton until the episode came out. So when I was watching it, I was like, I mean, I won't lie, I've only watched it properly once, and I was like very, very drunk because, I mean, Friday, midnight, like, I watched it, I watched the whole series for the first time through a blurred lens because I think I watched every episode drunk because I'd come home after a night out and just watch Doctor Who. But when I first watched it, I was like, what the fuck is this show? Like, what are they banging on about? And I found out what it is, and I was like, it's something that wouldn't appeal to me anyway, because it's like period piece, something that I find boring. That's another thing with the episode as well. I just think that setting is so done to death. Like, I'm so sick of seeing that era.
I'm not a fan of the setting, but the only thing that genuinely carries it for me is everything's so mid, but I really, really like, and I don't know if you agree or not, I just like the chemistry the Doctor and Rogue have. That is genuinely the only thing that I'm remotely interested in.
I was sort of like 50-50-ish on it until I started like going through it now. I think I'm only about 15 minutes into the episode, like review-wise. But I liked their chemistry the first time I watched it, up until like Rogue finds out who the Doctor is, because then I just thought he sort of lost the thing that made him interesting. But then I also realised while going through, I was like, this isn't interesting because it's something new. This is interesting because it's just Captain Jack Harkness. And I was like, oh shit. I'm just watching Series 1 Torchwood Jack Harkness in the 15th Doctor. I'm like, oh. So, I can understand enjoying it, but for me personally, I mean, it didn't really do much for us, because I'm like, I've seen this before, and it doesn't feel as interesting. I just wrote, like, a whole ass rant about, they went through so much, like, effort. I don't see why they didn't just have him be Jack and just recast him, to be honest, because Rogue basically is just Jack. Well, he basically is just Jack, to be honest. Except he's not immortal, as far as we know.
I'll agree with that. I find the Jack similarities.
I didn't realize how severe they were until I took like I went through a skim through of the Doctor dances, and I was like, oh my god, it's literally like almost everything is the same. It's like set in the past, looking to go for money, originally reluctant to help the Doctor Rose, ends up turning around in the end to become a good person, fancies the Doctor, dick measuring competition about the ships, dick measuring competition about the sonic screwdriver. It's like, oh my god, it's just the same dude.
For me, when it was invisible and then it appeared, it was like, oh my god, that's literally what happened in Empty Child, where it's like, is it on Big Ben? I think.
It's in front of Big Ben.
That's it, yeah, in front of Big Ben, and then he shows, it's like it's cloaked, and it was the exact same thing. I was like, oh my god, okay, yeah. But as an episode, will it age? Because as the point of the take.
I forgot the point of the take. This is why I was like, we should probably only do 5, but fuck it, we'll just see what happens.
I think
it will age the episode quite a bit, because stuff like Bridgerton as well, that is very, very sort of topical. Like, that will not be relevant as soon as the show's over. Stuff like Big Brother and Weakest Link, they've both like not been on the air for like 10 years or something, but everyone still knows what they are.
Big Brother was on last year, to be fair.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So you could that supports the point even more. It supports the point even more. Bridgerton's not going to come back after 10 years, is it?
No, it's like that's a show that happens and then it's done, it's over. Like, there probably won't be a sequel series or anything. It's like these things, like game shows as well. I think game shows lend themselves more to longevity, more so than a drama.
Yeah.
So
we can definitely agree with that. I don't know which one to put it in.
I think it's too much of a safe take to put it in base unit. Oh my god! So I'll put it in real.
Yeah, real. I agree. Yeah, it's not anything like groundbreaking, but it's right. So,
yeah,
like,
it's not
wrong.
To be fair.
It's Wang.
The worst person I've ever met in my entire life.
I want limited series like the. Right, bloody hell. Can you at least be a bit more polite? Can I please have what I want limited series like the war between the land and the sea more than I do regular spin-offs. I understand what you're trying to say now. Well done, Wang.
I'm gonna say leg, which is something that like 4 people watching this will understand.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really care.
Fair enough.
Actually, like, I like the limited series idea. I mean, I think it would be pretty cool, but at the same time, like a regular spin-off like Sarah Jane and Tortured, where we can get attached to the characters and they can be a part of the bigger universe. Because my main worry about the War of the... I mean, in a sense, we're going to debate it like this. War Between Land and the Sea, we could have, like... Is it Russell Tovey or whatever his name is? His character.
Yeah.
I think I've butchered his name, but his character, he'll turn up, we'll have him for 5 episodes. We might not get much development out of him. We're not going to get series 2, and then he'll turn up like in an episode of Doctor Who probably, and we're going to be expected to care.
Yeah,
that's my worry. Regular spin-offs, you've got that kind of advantage where Torchwood, Sarah Jane, at least you've got more with these characters to develop them and take more time with them. So I don't mind regular limited series one-offs, but maybe only in a world where we've still got a spin-off that's regular every year on the side. So like kind of like a Sarah Jane, and then, but this is in like a dream world. Like we've got a Sarah Jane like spin-off every year, Doctor Who every year, and then a limited different series every year. But yeah, I'm gonna say leg, to be honest. I just think regular spin-offs will help the universe grow, but that doesn't mean to say limited spin-offs aren't bad.
Yeah,
so
I agree with everything you said, but I'm sort of in the camp of I just disagree with the idea of limited series anyway, because like I mean, at least for me personally, when I started losing interest in the MCU was when they were just doing limited series, because not only because like all the ones I've seen were so shit, but also I just like I don't like the idea of a show. Like, I think it's just a bit of a waste to have just like one series of not even like 10 episodes for a show. Yeah. Like, just that concept on its own, I don't even agree with. I think it's such a waste of creativity as opposed to having like a show that could go on for like God knows how long, and you have so much time to get connected to the universe and the characters, and then when they could converge with the main show, like, yeah.
But at the same time, I don't mind it if it's a story that is small, and if it's a story that is supposed to be told in a limited series, do you know what I mean? Not a story where we're gonna watch it and feel like, oh my god, you could have milked 3 seasons out of that and it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
That's my worry about the land. Like, if we watch it and it's essentially Children on Earth but without the
being
the
good.
fact that it's a regular spin-off. Yeah. And that as well. I feel like, cool, give me more of that. It's fine. But my worry is already from, I don't know if you've seen set pictures. I mean, this is going to age this video, but
I've seen
there's been images of like land, like rubbish from the sea washed up, like outside a unit and stuff. It's making me think we're going to have this really big world threat for 5 episodes with all these characters we need to flesh out. Like you've got Kate, Shirley, Russell's character, then you've got, oh, I forgot the lady, Martha's sister, that actress, forgot her name.
Aye.
Then Kate's boyfriend, we think, because of the Empire of Death thing where they held hands, whatever his name was. We've got all of them, and then 5 episodes, and you've got to wrap it all up nicely.
Yeah, it's like, are we really gonna count on Russell wrapping something up nicely as well, especially given Empire of Death?
Yeah. I think if we were gonna do like small limited series, maybe it should have been like kind of a smaller story, if that makes sense. I don't know.
I think
just to kind of
I hate to go back to
grounded
Dr. Falls again, but one idea that I'd had, I don't even think I'd said it in that video. I think I'd said it when I was reviewing like Eaters of Light, I think, because I just like an episode like that, I'm just like, what is the point of this existing? Like, this is so nothing, especially when we know what's coming up. Like, I think if it was a limited series and it was just filling in gaps in stories, I think that could work, potentially.
Yeah.
Like, you know how there is just sort of a massive gap of time between the Master and the End of Time and then the Master at World Enough in Time? You could make a limited series out of that. Like, there's so much potential there.
There's loads of stuff you can do with limited series. You've just got to kind of make it, like, work for what it is. You've got to make it... I mean, I kind of still feel like if you were going to do a limited series, you need to have characters that already have a foundation. So all these new characters, it's going to be like you've got to develop them. You've got to make me know them as a person, then develop them within 5 episodes. And obviously not a full conclusion because they could come back, but it's like maybe it would have been better if we did have characters we already knew and you could just add to it because we already know who it's. I don't know. I disagree with Weg there, to be honest with you. Yeah. So I'm gonna say leg.
I'm gonna say leg L take.
Yeah, I'll take leg. It's not awful. But you could have done better. Come on, kind of disappointed in you. I might just message it now and say I'm really disappointed.
I've seen them say worse.
Wavy.
Well, that's enough of that. As you can tell, we waffled on for a very, very, very long fucking time this entire video. So I've had to split it into multiple parts, so you'll definitely see this exact clip at the end of the second part, which if you're at the second part, sorry, you're hearing us repeat myself. But that's all from us today. We will continue this next week, maybe? We'll see what happens. 3rd channel, who fucking knows. But thank you for watching. Go follow the tweet man. Don't. And I'll see yous next time.